Hi guys, welcome to Janet's Baba USA, your #1 channel. I hope you're doing well. This is a continuation of the video that I was doing last time about divorce. Now I want to talk about excuse me, the impact, because there's got to be an impact, guys. There has to be an impact when divorce happens. You know, there's a saying that says that when two bulls fight, the grass gets the grass is the one that gets the most. The impact is on the grass. It's not on those two bulls. So here we are, and the divorce has happened. And let me tell you one thing that I know, that I have observed, that there are some people who come here and they have that attitude of, you can't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? You cannot tell me what to do. So despite everything and everything is gone, you find that divorce has happened, and it has to happen. So now the kids, now let's start when they are small. My gosh, when they are little, it's a roller coaster for those kids. Remember, those kids are going to school. Those kids have a life that they are accustomed to. Like, for example, I'm going to give you a setup of my home. You find that my kids, most of the time, my husband takes them to school. And then, in the evening, it depends. If I am not working, I will go get them. If I am working, he gets them. But when he gets them for me, I gotta have to come home. That is if he's not working very far. If he's working very far, I gotta have to do it. So when they come home, I gotta have to be up. They get home around 3:40 so that we can do homework. And before I leave, I have to prep what they're gonna eat and make sure that their uniform is in order. Because when I'm going to work, I won't be home by the time they're preparing to go to school. So I have to make sure that everything is ordered so that when they wake up, they get their showers, they will have something to wear. So that one I have to do before I leave. And then each one of my kids, especially the youngest ones, they have a specific study area. Everybody has got their study area whereby they have their desk. And you find that when they come from home, it's, you know, it's something that they have done for a long time. So that is where they go to study. And they know this is where we do have a setup whereby my kids do not eat in the living room. They have to eat in the dining table. Like you are eating, you're drinking water, whatever, it has to be in the dining table. So there is that thing that we have installed in them, that is their routine. Another thing is that in the morning, maybe on Saturday, they have to go maybe do an activity in the gym. And then they can watch a movie. Sometimes we watch movies with them. My husband doesn't watch movies, so the movie stuff is for me, and whatever we read. So there is that structure that they have at this now. So I can imagine if we uproot all that and it becomes different, whereby when people get divorced, you find that all that the kids are used to from day one when they were born is gone. Because you find that, yes, the structure might still be there, but there's going to be a lot of disruptions. Because you find that everybody gets the kids their own day, because you're not in good terms, and you know you are in that level whereby you cannot tell me what to do. So you find that to make it easier, everybody is given their days or their weeks to stay with their kids. There are some people, maybe this week is for dad, next week is for mom, this week is for this weekend is for mom, the other week is for dad, or maybe this holiday is for mom and the other holiday is for mom. So that disrupts the kids. Are they gonna be depressed? Yes, they will be depressed. I'm telling you, those kids become depressed. Even their grades in school, you can see some of them are declining. You can find that the kids were very outgoing and they were talking, and then you find that these kids sometimes they can become withdrawn. These kids are prone to cry every minute because they can sense the mood, you know. They can sense, even when it's just a single parent, because even the parent is stressed, you know. Divorce brings such an impact on any family or on any family member that everybody is going through some stages of depression, you know. Maybe the kids are in the denial. They are like, oh, my mom and dad will come back together. And at the same time, the mom or the dad is in anger. You know, they are angry because of what happened, you know. And maybe sometimes they tend to lash it out on the kids, or maybe they tend the adults tend to withdraw. At the same time, the kids can be vice versa. The kids are in the anger stage of depression, whereby the kids are angry. You cannot manage them. You don't know what to do, you know. And that is where you find that the kids can go astray. I'm telling you, they can go astray, whereby you find that the way they were when the family was a close-knit family, that one kind of goes away, you know. It kind of goes away because every parent brings something into the family. The dad brings something, the mom brings something. So for that stability to happen, and I'm not saying that the people who are single do not have that. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that from coming from a marriage institution, and then you separate, something happens. It's like having a job for a long time and then you get fired, you know, and you don't have that source of income that you are relying on. You know, some things are going to happen. You're going to be depressed. Something, you know, things happen, guys. So that's what I'm trying to say, that kids are the most affected by divorces, especially in America. Some kids will get even more, because they are not getting what they were getting at home. They will tend to rely on their friends, and they will want to be like their friends. And because they are lost, they're kind of lost, you know, they don't know what to do. That is where you find that drugs come in. Very good kids, they weren't on drugs or anything. They find that they have started taking drugs. They have started smoking. They have started, you know, they have started to become, maybe they have started being bullying other kids. Or they have, you know, some bad, I don't want to say habits, like bad morals, you know. They start creeping on these kids because that stability, that caution that was there, you know, when the family was united, whereby I'm saying there's a good cop and there's a bad cop at home, you know, especially there's a parent who is really good, and then there's another one who like questions, you know. And you find that most of the time the kids know, because they know how to study, so they will go to the parent who is easygoing. They will go to the yes parent. You know, there's a yes parent and there's a parent who is a no-nonsense. They'll be like, no, that is not how we do it, you know. And that, you know, I find that very complimenting in a home, whereby there's that one parent who is, it brings some equilibrium, you know, because you're complimenting one another. So you find that your kids, because there's not that stability at home, and there is not that love, you know, there's that change might even make your friends, you find that your kids who are not even used to going out to drink, and they're going out, they want to go and spend time with their kids with their friends. For example, like our kids, we don't allow them to go for sleepovers. I don't know, but I'm not a great believer of a sleepover, and my husband is the same too, because I don't trust people. I don't know what people do at night when it's dark. So, and when I think about that, I'm like, no, stay at home. Go, if you want to go for a birthday party, go 2 hours and then I come and pick you up and you're back home. That's how it works. So you find that maybe there's one parent who really doesn't care. It'll be like, oh, they can go have a sleepover. So you find that they become very extended. Are they going to do their homework? Is there someone who is going to watch over for them, maybe to do their homework or to do the important things? Or maybe if they're having games, to go do their games. Or maybe if they're having other things. Maybe there isn't, because when you become divorced, you're not relying on each other to help each other with bills. And this is America. You're going to have to pay your bills. So you find that if you're working maybe 3 days a week or 4 days a week, you're ending up even taking 2 or 3 jobs. and you're not home most of the time. So these kids will tend to bring themselves up, which is a risk. It's a risk, you know, it's a very big risk. So guys, there is an impact. What about teenagers? There is a very big risk, guys. And you find that there are several cases whereby you hear maybe there's a death somewhere, or maybe there's a calamity that has happened somewhere, but you look at the cause, because it's good to look at the cause. You cannot just blame something because it happened, but it looks at the cause, and they're like, oh, those parents, they came from, they're immigrants, yes, they came, they have been together, whatever, or at some time those parents divorced or they separated, and you know, that's what's happening. And then you find that some of these things will come. Do Africans like to talk about that? No, they don't like talking about that. No, oh gosh, they don't like talking about that. They will be like, oh, you can talk about that. Especially if you start mentioning something of death. Someone died, and especially if it's a young person who died and you want to talk about that topic, oh my gosh, you are going to be greeted by wrath. Nobody wants to talk about it. But what I normally say is that if you don't talk about the sensitive topics that are affecting the community, how are people gonna learn? You know, how are people gonna know? Like, how are people gonna learn from these experiences? Because we learn from what we see. You know, life is not a novel or a storybook or a movie. Life is what you see. We learn through experiences, guys. And if we don't talk about these things, so you find that these children, even when they become adults and they get married, they have no boundaries. You know, I've talked about America not having boundaries, whereby you find that going out here, you can find that someone is 50 years old. 50 years old. And then another person is 30. And then maybe another one is 25. And they go out together. All of them at the same time, they go out together. There is, you know, there's a saying in my own mother language that says, they don't have age, you know, age mates. They have known that. Because what happens is that most African men that I have seen, when they become old and, you know, there's white hair and everything, they tend to shave their head clean. All of them shave their head clean. So when they shave their head, because they don't like color, most of them do not like coloring their hair. So what they do is that they shave their head clean, and when they shave their head clean, you won't know whether that person is 50 years old or whatever, because like America, it makes you a little bit younger. You know, it does make you a little bit younger. And if it's women, they tend to cover their hair. Like I have covered my hair. I really don't cover my hair because I don't want to see whatever, if my hair is white or whatever. But why I like to cover my hair is because I'm trying to grow my hair right now. And by the time, I like my hair to be very long. I've always had long hair. So I don't like when my hair is short and I have to comb and hold in a ponytail. I don't like that. I like to, oh gosh, what's up? Oh. I like to have my hair falling down, so I kind of have to cover it and protect, especially when it is winter. Winter doesn't go well with African hair. So I just kind of tend to cover my hair. But you find that you cannot know between a 60-year-old woman or a whatever, 50, 40, because all of them, they go in the same, you know, it doesn't matter. And you find that not knowing like where you should be, you know, and, you know, even aligning yourself with people who are in your age group, that one is not there. So you find that some things have happened because you don't know when it's time to stop to party. You don't know. You know, you have no idea when to stop to party. So you find that you party and party and party. Maybe you have a family, you're partying, you are, you know, you're just bad, you're not being nice and everything, and then things happen. But let me tell you, you can't talk about something like that. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, one time I went to a funeral. And when I went to that, it was a very sad funeral, guys. Very, very sad funeral. And my heart like went out to that family at that point. But I do remember there was a man who stood up and he talked. Because it was an accident that had happened that would have been prevented. I know that you cannot stop death, and when God says that they're going to take someone away, it doesn't matter the way they will go, they will go. That's a fact. But that man was given a chance to talk. And when he stood in the pulpit to talk, he talked about age. He talked about what he saw was wrong at that moment. I listened because I like to listen. I'm a blogger, so my mind is, I like to get stuff, what are people saying, I like to listen to both sides and also to listen to the neutral side. And he talked about how people do not know age. He talked about even people trying to recognize and to know it is time to stop doing this. It is time to go to another stage. It is time, he talked. It was a very good talk, but I'm telling you, oh my gosh, it was crazy. Everybody was like, oh, how can he stand up there and say that? Oh, can he see that? I heard the feedback from people. I don't go so much out into community. I really don't like, because I don't like drama, and I don't like, I just don't like, sometimes I cannot be involved in drama, and I cannot be involved in, let me call it BS. I can't be involved in that. So I listened to that man when he talked, and something came into my mind. I was like, if I can see that, and I'm very new in America, and maybe that's a person who has lived in America for more than 20 years, and they know, then why don't people want to change? And that's why I'm talking about something like divorce, something about even not knowing where you should be, Like, for example, you're not going to find me going to a party with my children. I'm sitting there and I am drinking and my kids are drinking on another table. No, you're not going to find me doing that, because I can't do that. I am their parent. I am supposed to be the mirror. I can't do that. You understand what I mean? But that is what happens. So you find that when divorce happens, there's that freedom. If someone wasn't going out, or this is the time that they're going out to interact with everyone, or this is the time all the friends are coming in to tell you what you should do, to advise you, and most people tend to listen. And that is where our children, they get lost. They don't have that backbone. They don't have somebody who got them, and it happens. So guys, what should we do as African immigrants? I know it's hard. I know when you come here, so many things are going to be different, but don't forget your values, because your values will keep you, You might not, nobody has a perfect marriage. I myself do not have a perfect marriage, Sometimes we fight. Sometimes we're not friends, but we always sit down and talk about what is ailing us. We do, guys. And what has kept us, I would say, is our focus is mostly on our kids. Because I look at my children, especially my youngest. We have an older son, and also him, I think he would like to come home to a stable family. But every marriage, I'm telling you, there is no marriage that people do not fight, everywhere. But you must have that goal, that focus, that even if you're fighting, you are willing to put your differences aside and talk, and not have that attitude of, you can't tell me what to do. You should see someone saying, you cannot tell me what to do, the way they roll their eyes and the way they shake their head. Oh my gosh, it's crazy, guys. But what I'm saying is, we should have that common goal. Money will come. Independence will come, especially when you come to live here in America. You will be independent. But having a good, stable life for your kids, it's good, guys. I don't like talking about the bad thing about marriage, because I haven't experienced that, and I pray that I never experience that. And I'm a still firm believer of, if you cannot be able to stay there, and if it is dangerous for you and your children, then get out. You can't be there, I am an advocate of that. And you will get help, guys. But the one that comes in because of pride, The divorce that comes in because of pride. The divorce that comes in because you can't tell me what to do. The divorce that comes in because there is a lot of money in the family, and people are they want to taste other, they want to go outside the fence and and taste other things, and those ones I don't advocate. I do not advocate those ones. I was looking at this person. Is very prominent here in America. Her name is Cardi B. So Cardi B was married to Offset, and they had several kids, and Offset had kids of his own outside. But then there was infidelity, and then after infidelity, this lady decided that she was gonna get herself a boyfriend. I don't know if he's a boyfriend or whatever. And he plays something. He's a player. He plays in athletics something. Well, I don't know if he's food. Whatever he plays in something. And it was so fast that she even got pregnant. But then, the guy who had married her was asking for child support, whatever, spousal support, whatever. And right now, you find that guy, the new boyfriend, already has a girlfriend who is pregnant, and he wanted to have both women in the same wing so that he could take care of them. And then this one that was married to Offset now is very angry, and she stormed out. She said she was not going to be second to none and all that. But what I'm saying is that yes, her husband was unfaithful and everything, and you cannot, for me, I can't stay if my husband is unfaithful. Like that's something that I can do. But I wouldn't rush into a relationship just like that, and because you haven't healed, I wouldn't do that. But what I want to say in that incident is that the grass is not always greener on the other side, and you always must to have a focus. Have that thing that is gonna make you stay. If it's not that bad, and if it's not threatening your life, and it's something that you can talk about, and there is no infidelity, because even the Bible condemns infidelity, it does, then I think you can talk about it. And sometimes it's not much. Sometimes it's just another person looking and seeing, oh, we have been here for so and so, and other people have come in, they are buying big houses, and they have nice cars, and you are not doing anything. That bullshit. And a divorce happens. So we want to be worried, guys. We want to know our stand. And at the same time, we want to have a goal, because we want to bring up those kids. Just the way, I always ask myself, if I didn't come to America, I would ask myself all the time, if I didn't come to America and I didn't get the status that I have right now, would there be a lot of conflict of interest, and would our marriage break because of how, That's what I always ask myself. Oh gosh, I still don't have the right of way. I don't want to go and get hit. So ask yourself that, guys, when you come and live here in America. And if you haven't come, know that challenge of divorce is very high. It's a high rate, guys. People divorce left and right. And know what is best for you. I'm not saying that you stay if it's an abusive marriage, or if it's a marriage that it's not a very very conducive. But what I'm saying is that if it's something stupid that can be solved, talk about it, guys. Talk about it, and try to solve, for the sake of those little ones. For the sake of those little ones, talk about it. But if they are old enough and you still feel like it's not working, then get out. And even if they are very little and your husband becomes abusive, or your woman becomes abusive, or they start going out with other people, then get out. But always, if it's something that can be solved, that can be talked about, please talk about it, guys. And know that it's not all about you. Other human beings that were bestowed upon you by God to take care of, and you will be answerable for those people. They are involved. You're gonna have to have their interest in mind. So thank you guys for always listening to my videos. Some of them are very long, but I do appreciate you guys. I'll see you in another video. Thank you and God bless you. Here I am on the topest floor. So I'm going to that side. See that side over there? The side that I'm facing, that's where I'm going. I hope you have enjoyed my garage ride.